Hey, what's up everybody? It's Galgan here. For this week's video, going kind of informal here, but something fairly topical and something I wanted to watch back for the first time with all of you. Maybe analyze what's going on here and get some answers. I guess before we start though, should provide some context, obviously. We're going to watch Game 5 of the best of 5 that took place in the Uni Rocketeers UR Spring 23 Open Qualifier number 1. I know that's a mouthful, but essentially there are a bunch of European university teams who are already locked into UR Spring, which is the spring semester's grand event with a huge prize pool sponsored by Psionics. I heard it has some pretty cool people casting it. You should check it out sometime, but for now, this is Open Qualifier number 1, so teams that are not already in are trying to get in. This match specifically was an upper bracket qualification match. It took place between Warwick, Williams Resolve, which the Warwick side are right over here. They are Zouch, Sushi, and Sayonara or Sayonara, formerly Treefork, same player, different name. It's going to be very confusing. People are going to make jokes about it. We'll get over it eventually. But that's Warwick, Williams Resolve. Obviously, you know, Williams Resolve is the org in Europe that is sponsoring this team. Very cool to see. Love that. Give me some more of that. On the orange side, we have Insinöörit, and I want to apologize first and foremost to all of my Finnish friends for my absolute butchering of that pronunciation. I feel like I shouldn't really attempt to get it absolutely correct, so we're going with Insinöörit for now. They are a new Finnish side, as I just said, to the scene. We have Dansku, Plex, and Axel on the side of Insinöörit. So game 5 in the series, hence the reason why we're on Champions Field here, and we are going to get right into the action. I kind of just want to see how this one unfolded. I don't want to spoil the result of this game, but I think you'll see pretty early on first goal, and I'll walk back some of the goals as they happen just to get another view since we don't see replays here. But I mean, you can see just utter confusion off the kickoff. It's a pretty easy cleanup for the first one for Insinöörit, but there's a pretty explicit reason why I want to watch this game and figure out what's going wrong for a particular side, and you might tune into it as we continue on. You might, take a little bit longer to come around to that, but I kind of just want to take a step back, after watching this live and see if there was anything else that could have been different. I'm seeing that Warwick are being beaten to a couple challenges early on. Good control from Sushi here. At least I believe this is Sushi in the Octane, and it is. Sushi earlier on in the series was doing a really solid job trying to be the driving scorer for Warwick, so clearly feeling a bit of momentum. Zouch's wheels on the ground right now, and Sushi's the one to take the clear anyway. Sayonara now over to Zouch. It's a good infield pass, but gets cut off. Insinöörit, though, they're just on top of everything. Pace is like a half step quicker right now. Even if they're not finding the ball, Axel was there despite the fact that Plex missed. Dansku's up for this one. Over towards the ceiling. Second opportunity. Zouch with the clear. So there's a bit of a trend that Zouch is one of the first to have to act defensively if Sushi and Sayonara are going to be this tandem to push up together. But Warwick, all series long, and again, there's another miss into a goal. I mean, it writes itself pretty evidently there. Axel is the one to take it to the corner. Plex and Dansku are both waiting. Plex pulls off the shot. Zouch buys into it. Again, it's Zouch on the lead defensively there for Warwick. Doesn't really come to anything, so rough look. 2-0 down, though, with plenty of time to go. Zouch, I mean, beautiful patience right there. I remember watching that one specifically. Got Sayonara in a bit of an awkward spot as they're both kind of rotating against the ball, and Zouch with a shot that you've got to score. Can't let that one go, but a good pass to make up for it. Unfortunately, it's canceled out by a double commit on that shot opportunity. Also, like the Black Fennec here. Interesting thing of note too. I think you'll pay attention to it rather quickly. This is Trying to remember who this is that we're on right now. It's Plex. Plex changed it up, and so did Dansku. They changed up their decals a little bit as the series went on, but they all started with this Mina Fennec that Axel has on right now. They all started with that orange primary, pink secondary, anodized pearl Fennec, which is really kind of funny to me to see a full team new to the scene all roll up with that same Fennec. We'll watch back goal number 3 here. Plex to the corner. 2 gone. Sayonara gets beaten. Sushi. Ghost touch. Tough look. Trying to get enough of that ball. Didn't end up doing it. 3-0 here. But yeah, this Insinöörit squad, I mean, they're going to be a joy to watch in the continuation of the spring season. So obviously there are 3 more open qualifiers, but if they end up winning this game, obviously that already books their ticket into UR Spring. They don't need to play in any of the other open qualifiers. And as this one progressed, close double there for Dansku. As this one progressed, obviously this is an upper bracket match, so pressure's not fully at a head right now. Both teams feeling confident that even if they drop this one, they should have a good chance to make it through lowers. And it's not as if you get penalized for making it through lowers into UR Spring. It's sort of like a clean slate. A clean slate. My goodness, English. I was too fixated on clean sweep, but regardless. Warwick still looking for 1. Defense is really strong, and I think the difference is Insinöörit are playing that delay game so well. I mean, look at this. Look at this exit from the zone. I want to rewind fairly far back. Plex gets the initial challenge. It's sent back on target. Axel's already up for it, though. Then Dansku's up in the air, hits Plex in the infield. Zouch misses. Here's the lane. There's the shot, as clean as you like. That is fast and effective there. Really nice shot from Axel, but it goes all the way down the field. That extension. Just making sure the ball doesn't leave your possession. It's such a beautiful thing to see. In front, 2 defenders. Nobody there for the punch. Sushi was already on the way out. Sayonara comes back in through the corner. Anything here? But no, the challenges are too good. That's 2 people beat already. Sushi had time to get to the ball, sure, but nobody in that support system. So now it's just an extended scramble until Warwick can get possession back, and Sushi looks to do just that. Rips another one. Axel saves. Plex with the challenge. Dansku with the bump onto Sayonara here to make sure that they don't have a follow-up shot. And 45 seconds, I mean, at this point, we're writing the game off, and then there's the icing on the cake. You know, it's difficult. Obviously, with the provided context of how the rest of the series had gone, it gets a little bit harder to watch, because you look at this game 5 and you're like, oh, Warwick, we're barely hanging on to fight back in this one. But if my memory serves me correctly, Warwick Braziled Insinöörit in game 2 of this series. I'm fairly certain that my memory is serving me well there. But regardless, it's still not the best look for Warwick here, because as I alluded to early on, I wanted to watch this one to see, you know, is there a primary issue to Warwick struggling to close out a series? Because they didn't necessarily already win this one, and we'll see. Just a miss from Axel, 1 miss. Dansku's already pushed up, and I mean, you don't need to push up that high when you're up 5, but at the same time, you know they're not going to win it when you're up 5 with that little time on the clock, so. But yeah, that's the question on my mind. Warwick closing things out, because they were in the exact same situation for the winter, for UR Winter. They were just barely outside of the top 16. They had one final chance to qualify in the lower bracket of open qualifier number 4, and they couldn't get it done. So now, obviously, as this one hits the ground, the anticipation with Warwick, right, is that they will eventually make it through to UR Spring, because there are 4 open qualifiers, and if Warwick is the 5th best team in the first open qualifier, unless you get a swarm of squads like Insinöörit who are good enough to make it through on one qualifier alone, Warwick should make it. But the question on my mind for Warwick Williams Resolve, what changes do they make going into the UR Spring main event that convinces not only me but everybody else that they can close a series out? Because It doesn't seem to matter how good their looks are earlier on. They got a Brazil in game 2 for all it's worth. They couldn't close it out here in game 5. They lost that ability to be confident about their touches. Their defense slipped when it absolutely needed to be there. Zouch had a scoring opportunity, but even then, Sushi and Sayonara didn't really get that many looks on net. So just this compounding of issues here. I want to see this Warwick side succeed. They have a great backing from Williams Resolve. I need to be convinced a bit more. And on the flip side, Insinöörit, great show from them. Upper bracket through open qualifier number 1. I could easily see them getting the same level of hype that Pesto University and IUL in Lisbon got for the winter. For context, newer rosters on those sides, they were very much so hyped up, and Lisbon made a huge run of it all the way to the grand finals of UR Winter. So I'm hoping that we get another Lisbon story here with Insinöörit in the spring. We'll have to wait and see. Let me know if I should do more replay reviews like this, because I'd love to, and obviously check out the Uni Rocketeers Twitch channel and Twitter. Who knows, you might see me there sometime. Until then, see you next time.